The college football experience, SMU Mustangs 2022 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WinBet. Bet $100 at WinBet and get $100 free bet. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/winbet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. We're also brought to you by IP Vanish. IP Vanish is the official VPN of SGPN, and they're offering 70% off if you go to ipvanish.com/SGP. That's ipvanish.com/SGP. We're also brought to you by Draft Day 2.0. Yes, make sure to check out Draft Day 2.0 starting August 9th at noon Pacific. The Sports Gambling Podcast's own Ryan Real Money Kramer will begin drafting for 24 straight hours. Yes, the fantasy football marathon. It's going to help raise money for Daryl, a loyal listener of ours. And he was injured in a motorcycle accident. So come on, look, you got your fantasy draft coming. Check it out. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/draft day for more details. That's Draft Day 2.0 on August 9th at noon Pacific.
Hey, what's up, you degenerate gamblers? This is Bill Burr, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, baby.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience, SMU Mustangs 2022 season preview episode. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I smoke and I drink and I don't have stress and I'm healthy.
Oh man, you know I love talking Pony Express. You know I love talking Mustang football. I am joined by my co-host, former JMU Duke defensive back. Give it up for the burrito eating, sideline kiss stealing, wheeling and dealing, Patty C in the place to be.
Hi-oh. Well.
Gobble gobble.
Whoa, I'm sorry. There we go. There we go.
It's a similar vibe that you get at SMU. Bosworth definitely could have passed for SMU. You know, imagine if you had Bosworth and Eric Dickerson on the same.
Oh man, well they pretty much had him. All right, they pretty much. You go back. I mean, that's what's hilarious.
It's easy to see a tide turn.
A tide did turn in the early 1980s when SMU, just said, "Hey, we're going to start paying players like the rest of college football was doing." Yeah. Yes, maybe it was a little more out in the open, but the reality is they're kind of like they were ahead of their time, man. They were ahead of their time.
The fact that the gold Cadillac or Mustang, whatever, that was actually from A&M. That wasn't even SMU. It was just A&M, being jealous of SMU outbidding them,
And look, this is the SMU Mustangs, folks. I mean, it's a rich history. Our boy June Jones been on the show, used to be a head coach there. You go back to the days of Ron Meyer and stuff. I'm not a Craig James guy. We're team Mike Leach over here.
Hell yeah.
But Craig James was a good running back for them. He also played in the USFL. Him and Eric Dickerson, the Pony Express. I mean, this team was loaded, and I'm telling you, for a lot of years, Patty C.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Wes Hopkins, fantastic safety for the Philadelphia Eagles, was part of that team. Michael Carter, the defensive tackle for the Niners, won a bunch of Super Bowls. I mean, Joe Phillips, a defensive tackle that played for the Chargers. Jerry Ball. You go on and on and on. This team was filthy for a long time there. Gary Moten, I think, was one. But Patty C, this is SMU, baby. All right, and they're back. All right, look at Cole Beasley. Look at Emmanuel Sanders. They're back, baby.
Oh yeah.
I recently read this offseason. Because I will say this, Part of what makes college football so great, Patty C, is what? Rivalries, right?
Sure.
Well, SMU and TCU have had quite the football rivalry, right?
They have
the Iron Skillet. It's been happening since 1915, right?
Mm-hmm.
Since 1915, and damn if I gotta find my if Sonny Dykes, the head coach of SMU, leaves for TCU.
After beating them the last 2 years.
That is brutal, man. Yeah. Absolutely brutal. So guess what? I was great. I was reading online NIL money for the group of 5, and that is also with Cincinnati, BYU, and UCF still being considered a group of 5. Guess who's number 1 in the nation in NIL money? And I think you better watch out for the future of this Mustang team, Patty C, because it's easy to see. Look, you don't change horses in midstream, and that's what Sonny Dykes did because it pissed off the fan base for SMU, and they put up a lot of money, and all of a sudden, this program is number 1 in the group of 5 regarding NIL.
I mean, think about that. If Texas A&M was their primary competition in the 80s before they got that death penalty, right? And they were outbidding A&M for absolute stud running backs, right? Then now Texas A&M just did it last year and had the number 1 recruiting class in the nation.
The irony though that A&M just did that, and they gave the death penalty to SMU. And I remember, like, I wish I was more prepared on this episode to talk about this because I'm prepared just to talk about the 2022 season, but I was reading some type of book on that. And I want to say if it wasn't for the ties in Texas legislature, like in the state, like
just didn't have guys high enough in the political system.
That's what really gave him the death penalty.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like their ties, like I want to say, I don't recall if the governor was from Texas or Texas A&M, but it was kind of a little bit of bullshit there. Like, yes, they were cheating, but so was everybody else.
Everyone else was cheating just as bad. Well, A&M obviously got trashed pretty hard publicly by Nick Saban and the likes, but
by Eric Dickerson back then too.
By Eric, that's true. Hello, but you know what? No harm, no foul from a sanction standpoint. So if the money is right for SMU now, all these years later, they get that train rolling again.
Watch out!
Yeah,
Dallas is a big city.
Yep,
big city,
and SMU loves their football.
And what is I'm looking up quickly the enrollment. It's a smaller school, right? Or is that TCU? I'm thinking 11,000, so 12,000 people at
Not
SMU.
a big school.
Yeah. But hey,
doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Doesn't mean anything. All right, let's go. I want to see them spend top dollar. If you're an SMU fan or alumni listening to this, I would ask you to donate to football and the rising stock of the Mustangs. All right. Because I think they could be perfect. They could be exactly what college football needs. Imagine if they start spending the same amount of money as A&M or Texas or some of these other schools.
Yeah.
In Texas.
Oh yeah. Well, they'll get a Power 5 invite in no time.
But that's what we just need, that diversity though. Because look, they wouldn't, because I don't think Texas would want them in the SEC. So that's what we need for the Big 12 to come up.
There you go.
For the Pac-12 to grab them.
Have these highly potent programs living up to their potential. 3 straight winning seasons in the last 4 years, a 10-3 season, 7 wins in that COVID shortened season.
Yes.
Doing things under Sonny Dykes. He did do a good job. Let's be honest. But Rhett Lashlee comes in. He used to be the OC a couple years ago in Dallas with the Mustangs. He was at Miami last year. And it's a name that I think a lot of people. It was a hot name in college football. Rhett Lashlee. He's young. Sure.
He's just.
I mean, he likes to throw the ball around.
39.
He was under Dykes there, right, for a couple years.
But he's had stops. Patty C. Get this. 2006 Arkansas. Who was the head coach there? Was that Road Rash face Bobby Petrino, or was that?
I think that was Malzahn. No,
might have been Houston Nutt.
Was Arkansas State? It might have been Houston Nutt. Okay.
I'm not sure. It's either Nutt or Petrino. In 2006, Arkansas. I kind of want to say it's Houston Nutt if I had to guess. Right?
I think you're right.
So he was a GA under Houston Nutt.
2006. It was Houston Nutt. Yeah.
So he was a GA for 1 year in 06 with Houston Nutt. Then he was a GA at Auburn for 2 years in 9 and 10, which I would imagine would be
Malzahn or Chiswick, I guess.
Chiswick, right?
Yeah.
And then he goes to Samford in the FCS for a year as their OC. Then he goes to Arkansas State with Malzahn, right? In 2012.
Yeah.
Then he goes to Auburn for 3 years with Malzahn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then he goes to UConn in 2017, right?
Random.
Right before their national championship. And then he goes to SMU and then Miami and then SMU. So this is I think this could be a good hire.
Oh, I mean, he's young. He's he's one of the most up and coming, hot shot offensive minds in the game right now. Yeah, I mean, a little more pro style, I guess, with Ryan Van Dyke last year.
Still tossed the rock around a lot.
Yeah, they threw the ball most of the way. So I would expect more of the same. You got a guy like Mordecai who led the
and
conference
Preston Stone. So they had their highest recruit ever last year. Does that include Dickerson?
Can't be.
I don't know. Right, but
at least since the recruiting services started, that was around 2000. I can't imagine. By the way, I just want a quick caveat here. Now that we're in these 17 game NFL seasons, Eric Dickerson can retire as the leading running back in a 16 game NFL regular season of all time. Congrats, SMU.
And now I would also say expand the college football playoffs because we want to get these players ready for the NFL. So let's play 16 college football games.
There you go.
All right.
It's irresponsible if we don't.
Yes. Patty C, the quarterback situation is fantastic. Tanner Mordecai and Preston Stone. So Mordecai used to be at Oklahoma, folks. If you don't remember this, who did he lose? Did he lose it to Rattler?
Rattler, I think.
So Rattler beat him out. He transferred to SMU. And so he's very talented. Last year he put up some video game like numbers. They also have Preston Stone, who is a huge recruit for them. So they are completely sound at the quarterback spot. They get 3 of 5 back on the offensive line, led by center Branson Hickman. They got one of their better receivers over the past couple of years has been Rashee Rice. He's back, but he's the only starter back at wideout from a season ago. I think they're going to rely on Jordan Kerley, which I would imagine is Jeremy Kerley's brother, the old Texas Christian wide receiver that played for the New York Jets.
Calcaterra's gone. He was great for them.
He got drafted. By the way, shout out to SMU fans. You had 2 players drafted more than Texas this year.
Boom!
So what
Roasted.
up? Horns down.
That's right. Rashee Rice, you're right. 64 catches, 670 yards.
And I think
9
he was
touchdowns.
dinged up a little bit. I think even a year I've used him in DFS a few times. He's a beast. So I would imagine him, Kerley. They also went to the transfer portal, which I will get to. They are breaking in a new tight end and Nolan Matthews Harris. I mean, I guess I should talk about he's an Arizona State transfer. And at the running back spot, they let Ulysses S. Grant leave for Ole Miss because they got Camar Wheaton. Ulysses Bentley didn't leave until they got Camar Wheaton and then realized, oh
yeah, I got an absolute stud coming in and taking my carries.
Camar Wheaton was the 3rd highest recruited running back in 2021, and he went to Bama, and apparently he flashed at Bama before an injury.
Yeah, 10-6 in the 100.
Yeah.
Supposed to be a game breaker.
That was one of the biggest transfer portal gets this whole offseason. Camar Wheaton from Alabama, but he'll be mixed with
and a big frame on him. He's a true thoroughbred.
Yeah, with Tre Siggers and Velton Gardner.
Tre Siggers, leading rusher from last year, 727 yards. It's kind of a stacked backfield there.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Defensive coordinator, new DC because Jim Leavitt is gone. Scott Symons, new DC, 86th in scoring defense, 39th in rush defense. Obviously, this was Leavitt's defense. 124th in pass defense, charting at 92nd overall in the 1 year Leavitt was there. 7 starters back on defense, though. 2 of 3 on the defensive line, led by Elijah Chatman. 2 of 3 in the linebacking core, led by Jimmy Phillips. And 3 of 5 in the secondary, led by Armani Johnson at the cornerback spot. They also have Jahari Rogers at the other cornerback spot, who's a transfer from Florida. They are breaking in what seems to be interesting. I think a new kicker, new punter.
Yeah, so same. I don't know.
I think he's got some reps.
He's got to be an Aussie.
Yeah.
I have no idea if he is or not, but I know he's supposedly 6'8", 232.
I love it. We have a new punt god. We have a new punt god.
I'm proposing a Pat McAfee award for
I like that.
Punters that hit. This guy actually needs to be included on that.
I like that. I mean, I think this is a pretty good team to walk into. And we're going to get the transfer portal because boy, did Rhett Lashlee and the Mustangs hit some dingers when it came to the transfer portal.
Hello.
We're going to talk recruiting rankings. We're going to talk what Las Vegas expects from the SMU Mustangs and what we expect. We're going to go game by game on the schedule. But first, I got to get us paid. I want to tell you folks that the SMU Mustangs 2022 college football season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WinBet. Bet $100 at WinBet and get a $100 free bet. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WinBet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. We're also brought to you by IP Vanish. Yes, IP Vanish is the official VPN of SGPN, and they're offering 70% off if you go to ipvanish.com/SGP. That's ipvanish.com/SGP. We're also brought to you by Draft Day 2.0. Make sure to check out Draft Day 2.0 starting August 9th at noon Pacific. Ryan Real Money Kramer of the Sports Gambling Podcast will begin drafting for 24 straight hours. The fantasy football marathon will raise money for Daryl. Shout out to Daryl. He's a loyal listener of SGPN. Daryl was injured in a motorcycle accident, so trying to help him out here. So head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/draft day for more details. And we're also brought to you by Odds Trader. Yeah. Odds Trader. You're probably wondering, what's that? Well, it's a place to compare odds from all the major sports books. Yeah. You can compare all the different sign-up codes and promo codes from sportsbook to sportsbook to see which one gives you the best deal. The app also provides player statistics, key game statistics, injury reports, projected game day weather for bettors who make the most informed bets. It has a bet tracker for all your bets. You can highlight those and you know, it'll basically alert you to them, all your betting activity. So go to oddstrader.com/Blue Wire. That's oddstrader.com/Blue Wire. Odds Trader, the number one site for all your game day bets. Patty C, we are back talking Mustang football. I mean, a lot of fun. Talking Mustang football.
The transfer situation here is going to be the most exciting part of this whole podcast. I feel like.
Oh man, let's just try to go through a little bit of them. All right, defensive end David.
Incoming, this is
incoming transfers. Defensive end David Abiera from Texas. All right, wide receiver Cavante Dixon, Texas. Cornerback Kavaris Hall, Tulane. Linebacker Cameron Farrar from Oklahoma State. Offensive tackle Owen Condon from the Georgia Bulldogs. Wide receiver Jake Bailey for the Rice Owls. Running back Camar Wheaton, Alabama. Wide receiver Theodore Knox, Mississippi State. Linebacker Jaquandis Burns, Minnesota. Safety Nick Roberts, ULM. I believe he was all Sun Belt. Linebacker Shannon Reed, Louisville. Tight end Cameron Allen, Michigan State. Safety Chris Amarora from Texas. Offensive tackle Joseph Bissinger, Virginia. Wide receiver Beau Corrales, North Carolina. Running back Velton Gardner, Kansas. Whoo!
Boom.
I mean, I alluded to this, and this doesn't even count all the transfers that they have. Like when you go through the whole starting lineup, maybe they were transfers from the year before that.
Oh yeah.
Fuck. You have like a Power 5 team here, dude.
I mean, should I rattle off the last 4 years of transfer portal rankings? Nationally, 10, 21, 15, 14. And number one in the conference this year. So they are an absolute threat with that transfer portal.
Well, I mean, I see guys. Owen Condon from Georgia is going to start for them. Jake Bailey from Rice, I would imagine, will start for them. Camar Wheaton from Bama is going to start for them. I think there's a chance Beau Corrales, the wide receiver from North Carolina, starts for them. I think there's a chance some of these other guys are starting for them. I mean, this is a deep team when it comes to that.
You're right. If their previous seasons are, top 20 transfer classes too, then it seems like a lot of their starters, whether it be from this year or from previous years, are coming through the transfer portal.
They have a starting corner from Florida. He wasn't a transfer this year. So the year before, they had starting tight end from Arizona State. Not this year, the year before. I mean, you go on and you go through the roster, and you're just like the whole team. They're like a Power 5 team in a way.
I wonder why they're so much more effective in the transfer portal than they are in recruiting.
Maybe they want to be. More. Maybe they want to watch the tape at the college level. I don't know.
Could be. That could be a
Talk
strategy.
to me about recruiting in general.
Recruiting, it has improved. So maybe it's just a little slower. And obviously the NIL is going to affect recruiting. But last 5 cycles, it's actually improved pretty dramatically. 87, 61, 64, 46, 49. So they went from 87 to the 40.
This team could be a sleeping giant, man.
They could. I mean, if they can push that recruiting down into the 30s and their transfer classes remain in the top 20, top 15, top 10, then all of a sudden their composite from a talent standpoint is in somewhere in the top 30. And if you put that with like group of 5 competition, they're going to be right there with like Cincinnati and the other ones.
I was going to say, like, we know Cincinnati, UCF, BYU are going to be in a power conference next year, but aside from that, we mentioned San Diego State as one that's just a no-brainer. I would say SMU, Memphis, San Jose, not San Jose State, San Diego State, right? As a no-brainer. I think what would your pecking order be on that?
Here,
like San Diego State and SMU, probably the tops, right?
SMU last year in their composite. Now, obviously, they've added more and they've added another recruiting class. So they were 55 in the composite last year. I believe they'll be higher than that once they release those. But we can go team by team and see where each of the other ones. Cincinnati 54 in the composite, so right next to them, and that was a playoff team. Who else are we talking? Houston.
And UCF
71. So better than Houston, and from a talent standpoint, UCF 42. Okay.
What would San Diego State be there? I know we said it the other day. I just don't remember.
San Diego.
It's like in the 80s. I thought you said.
Maybe
right?
it's SDSU. Why isn't it showing?
Well,
it's
the reason why I ask is they could be on. I've read a couple different things that the Pac-12 might be considering SMU and San Diego State as the 2 teams to replace USC and UCLA.
San Diego State was 101.
That's wild because they're way better than fucking 101. That makes me doubt the shit out of all those recruiting rankings.
I know. We know that the further west you get, the more slept on you get from a recruiting standpoint.
Definitely. So I don't know, man. Let's so if you're watching on YouTube, first subscribe to the College Football Experience wherever you listen to podcasts at, but especially subscribe on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/the College Experience. And then also subscribe to the College Basketball Experience because I mean, hey, I like that. They went out and hired Rob Lanier from Georgia State. I like that hire. I think the Mustangs could have something going in basketball as well. Subscribe to the College Basketball Experience as well. But either way, we're both on YouTube as the College Experience. So if you're watching on YouTube, you see this graphic. Shout out to the SGPN graphics team. It's 7 wins is the total, Patty C. 7.
Should we talk last year?
Yeah, we can. Let's talk a little bit about last year.
8-4.
What'd you make of that team last year?
I mean, pretty darn impressive in a lot of ways. Granted, the schedule wasn't necessarily ball breaking. I
mean, the TCU win was great.
That is a big.
They were neck and neck with what I still feel like they slightly underachieved for me.
Well,
that's why I'm not high on the Dykes hire. I actually think this is a blessing in disguise for SMU.
I think you're right. I mean, Dykes' history as a head coach says that he kind of does this sometimes.
Well, I mean, look,
he doesn't get to an elite level.
They shouldn't have lost to Tulsa, in my opinion. They shouldn't have lost to Memphis. Okay, you can make the case the Houston one. And then they needed a Hail Mary to beat Louisiana Tech. They beat Louisiana Tech on a Hail Mary. Remember, it got tipped and the guy on the other side of the end zone.
Oh yeah, that was as lucky as it gets.
So I actually think I get it. They're upset with Dykes leaving. I think it's a blessing in disguise.
Pretty good though, dude. The 3 of their 4 losses were by a touchdown or less. 2 of them by a field goal. Their only blowout was at Cincinnati, which is very understandable. Other than that, they put up a lot of points in almost every game. They were kind of past the eye test last year, but they let a few get away from them. If they win those, I mean, put it this way: if they won the games that they, how many games did they play that were 7 points or less? The Navy game was 7, Houston was 7, Memphis was 3, and Tulsa was 3. Those are only 4 games, and they went 1-3 in those. If they go say 3-1 in that, we're looking at a 10-2 season.
But my problem is, to me, is I thought they could have been better in some of those performances. Like, I don't think they have any business losing to Tulsa.
Yep.
And I think they should have been better than Memphis. They were better than Memphis. Then Memphis beat them.
You might be right.
And even the La Tech game, I thought like they didn't pass the eye test to me. You should have won by more than that. You got lucky and you won.
Well, if you're right, and if they are more talented than these teams, and Lashlee has him playing at a slightly higher level than Dykes.
I think it's a better situation. I would, if you ask me, if I was coaching a team, if I'm an athletic director, would you rather have your team A, same roster, coached by Sonny Dykes, or team B, same roster, coached by Rhett Lashlee? I would say Rhett Lashlee.
There's less of a history there to lean on as a head coach.
But that's what I'm saying. That part of the excitement is he's 39 and he seems to be a hot name in college football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I think at this point you should probably be happy with that if you're SMU.
Agreed. So Vegas is the numbers are flat 7. The juice is going -115 towards the under, -105 to the over. So Vegas basically saying they kind of think 6-6, but really they think 7-5.
Yeah.
Let's get to the schedule, Patty. See, week 0. No, I'm sorry, not week 0. Week 1, we got the Safeway Bowl. This game goes back to like 1919 or something. I did a tweet over at the College Football Experience at TCE on SGPN the other day about the about this matchup, the Safeway Bowl.
Oh, why is it called the Safeway Bowl? Dude?
That I don't remember, but it is called the Safeway Bowl, and they've owned, I think, North Texas in this rivalry. And here we go. They go to Denton, Texas. This is a sneaky first game though, because you have Rhett Lashlee in his first game. North Texas has the benefit of playing a conference game week 0.
Yeah.
So I do think, and normally I would be like, oh, give me SMU all day. I'm still going to take SMU, but I do think it's going to be tough.
Experienced, but I will say this, and 6 and 7 last year, like you said, bowling. I think, wait. Oh yeah, you're right. They do have UTEP.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like they have a little bit of a benefit there of being able to do that, play a week 0 game, which I think makes this game much harder for SMU in Rhett Lashlee's first ever head coaching debut.
Some live bullets help a lot. I think it does.
I'm going SMU, but I do think this is gonna be like a 48-45 final.
Fortunately for them, not a very long road trip to Old Denton. So
there we
right
go.
around the corner.
Who you taking?
I'm taking SMU.
I agree. Then Lamar. No, not Lamar Lathan. The Cardinals. They come into old Gerald Ford Stadium, take on the Mustangs. 2-0, Patty C.
2-0. Where is Beaumont, Texas? Is that anywhere near Dallas?
I'm thinking it's by Houston, if I had to guess.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm talking out of my ass. I mean, I've been through Texas a bunch, but I don't remember. Texas is so fucking big. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's like I'll pull it up. We'll see if it's not. It's just for interest anyway. But Beaumont, Texas, is that at all close to Dallas? You're right. It's down near Houston. Look at you, geography major over here.
I've spent a good amount of time in Texas. Having Lone Stars and kicking back.
Nothing but steers and other things in Texas, and no steers around here, buddy.
I did some stand up in El Paso and Austin also before, so I bounced around. I bounced around old Texas. Patty C, week 3, they head to College Park, Maryland, in a game that I think is pretty fucking fire as far as offensive. You want to talk about an arena football game?
Yeah.
Maryland's defense was terrible last year.
Mordecai versus Tagovailoa. Those are both.
Who are you taking here?
What was Mordecai? Was he a 5-star?
I think he might have been. We got 2 gigantic recruits.
Yeah.
At quarterback going at it. Man, this is a close game. I'll take Maryland, I guess. I don't know. It's a far trip.
Maryland was what, 5 and 7 last year?
6 and 6.
6 and 6.
Yeah.
That is a far ass trip. Mordecai was a 4-star. I'm gonna go with. I'll say Maryland.
This is going to be a 3-point game.
Yeah.
I do not think it's going to be a blowout. This is going to be 1,000 yards of offense.
Here we go. I'll say they go 1-1 in this 2-game stretch here.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Because next up, you get the Battle of the Iron Skillet. They host. Oh, this place is going to be rocking. This place is going to be rocking for this one.
I like that it's in Dallas.
Sonny Dykes comes into Gerald Ford Stadium. Oh, give me SMU.
Yeah,
3-1 through the month of September. They open up Saturday, October 1st. They head to the Moon Bounce. Patty C. They head to Orlando to take on UCF at the Moon Bounce. UCF's coming off of Georgia Tech, but unfortunately, Georgia Tech doesn't run the triple option offense, and that should be a rout. I'm taking UCF.
Now, interesting because SMU won 55-28 last year. So that's what 4 touchdowns almost.
Yeah.
So tough. You're seeing that tide turning, I guess, pretty fast there for old UCF. I'm gonna go UCF.
It's easy to see a tide turn.
So what's that? 3-2. Then their bye week, and they get the bye week in a great spot because you need that bye week to prep for the triple option and the Navy midshipman. Patty C. I got Navy on the upset.
Oh, calling it in Dallas. We do know that these service academies go down to Texas and do damage.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, man.
Didn't SMU get routed by one of them at some point?
I think so.
I think they got
gave up like 70 spot by somebody.
It might have even been Navy. I don't see it happening this year. On a Friday night, I'm going SMU.
Upset special. Give me the midshipman. Then next we go. They are hosting the Cincinnati Bearcats in our sling game of the season. I highlighted this one for the sling game of the season, folks. It's college football season, which means you need the unbeatable coverage of Sling TV starting at $35 a month. Sling has all the big games on the biggest channels like ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN3, SEC Network, ACC Network, Fox, and the Big Ten Network, all for the best price. You can stream any device, record up to 50 hours with included DVR space and pause or change your service at any time. Check out sling.com for special offers. Sling, the live TV you love for a price you'll love. Try us today. Sling. Patty, see, this is my sling game of the year here.
They did give up 75 points to Navy in 2016.
So I'm saying, watch
75 points. Gosh.
Watch it. Levitt's not the DC anymore. Watch it. All right. So I got him. What? I got him 3-3.
You got him losing to Cincy?
No, I got him 3-4 after that Cincy game.
I got him 4-3.
Then they head to H.A. Chapman Stadium to take on the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. This game bothers me. I'm gonna take SMU, but I feel like I can never get a good read on Tulsa. Tulsa beat them last year. Tulsa's a strange team. They're always way better than what you think they are. Like even when they're 3-9, they're like 3 wins. They'll have like 6 chippy losses. They're a strange team.
I mean, they were right there in the
Ohio State game.
Yeah, well, the conference championship probably should have hosted it if Cincinnati had the balls to come
in
to Tulsa to play the regular season game there. And look, last 6-7 games, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6-2 or 2-6 in their last 8 against Tulsa.
Oh man,
2-6 in their last 8 against Tulsa. Look, almost all these games though by 10 points or less. In fact, if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games in a row by 10 points or less, this is a freaking game right here. It's in Tulsa.
I'm taking SMU.
I'm taking SMU too. They're due for another one.
So that now I'm at what? 4-5. Does that sound right?
4-5. Yeah, that's what you got them at.
I can't have them at 4-5
because you got them at
4-4.
4-4, yeah.
4-4, and then they're home to the Houston Cougars. They lost by 7. This is an awesome game.
Between Tulsa and Houston, I'm having them go 1-1. So I've got them at this point at 5-4, and depending on what you do with that Houston game,
I got them beating Houston.
You got them at 5-4 as well.
Yeah. Then they head to Raymond James to take on South Florida, who's a fucking enigma. I think they're going to be. I think they're going to be terrible, but they keep getting like great transfer rankings.
Yeah,
and it's like one of these years they've been terrible the past couple of years. They started a freshman quarterback last year. Maybe this game's tricky.
Well, they're finally giving themselves a new stadium, so maybe they get some of that UCF moon bounce. Action going.
Yeah, I'm taking SMU
for now though. Playing in the old Buck Stadium ain't too intimidating. I'm going SMU as well.
So I got them 6-4. Then on Thursday night they take on Willie Fritz and his slamming hot daughter. At Yeoman Stadium. Patty C.
Tricky. This game last year was. Did they play last year? Tulsa? No, they did not. No, the Tulane rather. Yeah. No. Yeah, they won 55-26. Got to go SMU here, right? But on the road, maybe a little tougher down in Nolens.
Michael Pratt.
Oh man, the golden locks of Michael Pratt prevail. Do you think?
Because I am 7-4. Do I have right now? What did I say it was?
You had him 6-4 coming into this game. A Thursday nighter in New Orleans.
Give me Tulane
On the short week, huh? Maybe. That's a back-to-back road with a short week.
Yeah,
You might
Tulane.
be right. So you got him at 6-5 and one game left. I'm taking SMU in that one.
I'm taking Memphis on the final game, which is home to Memphis. Or I'm sorry, I'm taking SMU in the final home game, which is home to Memphis.
So you got him 7-5.
I got him on that Vegas number, but guess what? I lean.
What do you lean?
I lean over.
I lean over too, baby.
I think. Yeah. Did you have Memphis winning the final game?
Nope. I got
So you got
SMU.
them 8-4.
Well, probably 7-5, but
Yeah.
8-4 if I had to lean.
And I lean over because I think they could beat Navy. I think they could beat Tulane. I think they could beat Maryland.
Yeah. I mean, I want to see Camar Wheaton.
Me too.
What is it? Camar Wheaton.
Yeah. I want to see Preston Stone.
That's right. I feel like you get enough of these pieces and you get a offensive guy that knows what to do with them. Guess what?
They're an
Good
interesting
things
team.
happen.
I lean slight over. I can't wait to watch them. Saddle up, buddy.
Hello. Any chance that they could get Cincinnati in Dallas, or
Sure.
that they could get Houston in Dallas? I mean, if they're really
They
good,
definitely could get Houston. Cincinnati, like my problem, I just need to see this team become more physical, but getting Wheaton's a start.
yeah. No, who else is Houston and Cincy are the two, and then there's one other that's like the odds-on favorite. UCF.
Yeah. And East Carolina, which they avoid East Carolina, which is smart for them because they would have lost.
I think just by the nature of getting two of the main contenders for the conference at home, if they're good enough to be in that conversation, that factors. And maybe a conference championship appearance is in the works here. I'm not sure about it, but I do. I do like this season.
I like your optimism. I like it. I like it. I like it. I'm on the over. Patty C's on the over, folks. Subscribe to the College Football Experience. Also, remember, subscribe to the College Basketball Experience. Rob Lanier is going to do great things. We're going to have a preview for those SMU Mustangs coming soon on the College Basketball Experience. So check it out. Subscribe. Tell a friend. Also, check out the Sports Gambling Podcast. They're doing NFL futures, Cowboys, Texans. I don't know who else you root for over there. The Saints, maybe. I don't fucking know. Chiefs. Subscribe to the Sports Gambling Podcast. They're going through all 32 teams, team by team. It's fantastic, folks. Check it out. Also, check out all of our other pods. The USFL Gambling Podcast. Look, they came back. The Pony Express can come back. Patty C. What else? CFL is going on right now. CFL Gambling Podcast. MLB Gambling Podcast. All right. NBA Gambling Podcast. You name it. We got it. All right. Just go to the SGPN Discord, sweat out some bets with us, and look, folks, give us a follow on Twitter. I'm on Twitter at TheColbyD. Patty C's on Twitter at PattyC831. NC Nick's on Twitter at NC_NICK. The College Football Experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. And get this, if you give us a 5-star review on iTunes, which we would certainly appreciate, we'll enter you in a raffle to get a brand new gift card from the Sports Gambling Podcast store. Yeah.
Boom.
How about that? How about 50 smackaroos? All right. Let's do this damn thing. SMU, it's time to throw your money into football. Let's take this thing to the top. This is the College Football Experience, SMU Mustang style. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.